Well, Josh Mittledorf, it's a real pleasure to be able to interview you today. I know you're in a speaking engagement, I guess, there in Geneva. So, how's everything going there?
Jim, the honor's all mine. I'm at a luxury hotel put up by the Russians who are
Oh,
sponsoring this conference. It's a symposium on the future of aging.
oh, fantastic! Wow, that sounds exciting. Yeah. So, you've been a radical life extension enthusiast for and an advocate for quite some time. How long have you been in into radical life extension?
It started 21 years ago with an article in Scientific American about caloric restriction. And it just got me thinking about aging in a whole new way. And gradually, over the following few years, I made it my career.
Oh, wow. Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. Can you give us a brief idea? Now, you're going to be attending RAADfest 2017 and going to be speaking there, and we're very excited to have you participate. You're a real thought leader in this community. Can you give us a brief idea of the exciting news or information you're going to be bringing to RAADfest? Just
Well,
maybe a little tidbit, a tantalizing taste.
my elevator speech.
All
So,
right.
so the thing I'm most enthusiastic about is a change that I see happening. Maybe it's just beginning to happen in the aging community and the view of what aging is and how to combat it. The old view is the body falls apart, it's doing the best it can. The body needs help from us to fix what goes wrong.
So
The
true.
new view is that we're programmed epigenetically to die the same way that we have epigenetics. Epigenetics is turning genes on and off, and it happens all the time in the body. So when we get to be 1 year old, the growth hormones are just surging to keep us growing. When we get to be 12, 13, 15 years old, the sex hormones are surging. These hormones are just turned on. Well, guess what? When we get to be 50, 60, 70 years old, the hormones that are surging are those that destroy us.
Oh, wow.
So what it means is that the way to combat aging is not try to fix everything that goes wrong, but to reprogram the system at the root, reprogram the epigenetics.
Oh, I like that. I like that. So that's exciting. I'm looking forward to hearing more on that. What is your single most reason for you personally that you want to help end aging and death?
Oh, gee.
I know that's a
I
big
mean,
one.
it starts with having a really rich life,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
there's more to discover, there's more to learn, there are more experiences to be had that I could ever cram into the remaining years I have. So I've felt this way for a long time and been into keeping myself as young as possible.
Beautiful, beautiful. It makes me think that a lot of people sometimes you hear that they're not interested in living longer or whatever. That they must not have a very good life as it is. They must not be like you're saying for yourself. They must not have a great life or something. I mean, it's a puzzle to me sometimes.
Well, it gets political. I mean, we live in a society that really wants to limit our experiences, wants to keep us enslaved to a system that gets us up in the morning going to work and not thinking too hard about what it all means or what we really want out of life. But when we get off work, being happy to go to the bar or go to a movie or go skiing or something to let it all go. But the deepest and richest experiences in life are just not part of our culture.
So true, so true. Why do you think it's important in your mind for people to attend RADfest?
Well, gee, I mean, this is a movement of liberation in the deepest sense. It's a way to get more quantity of life and more quality of life and to meet other people who are thinking independently and to feel that way too, to learn so much about the science. It's all there at RADfest.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, thank you. Uh, so, how important is it, do you think? I mean, you yourself, I gather you have a community that you're communicating with all the time, and I think you understand the power of togetherness. How important do you think it is for us to, as a community, to have a strong, united community moving to help in aging and death?
Uh, so I'm on the other side of that one.
Yeah,
I think that science has been much too structured, that science needs to take big risks or it isn't science. If you can't be wrong in your experiment, if you can't do an experiment and gee, it came out completely different from the way I expected. If you can't test a theory and find out the theory doesn't work after all, then what's the use of doing science? Science has become um, so commercialized and professionalized. People earn a living as a scientist. They need to get a grant. They have to support their postdocs next year, right? So they're not going to try the riskiest thing. They're going to try the thing that is going to work. Well, there's a lot of diversity in our community. There's a lot of bantering back and forth. There's a lot of disagreement. And that's the healthiest thing in the world.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what keeps science going.
I agree totally. I think my question was, do you think it's important to actually the community to unite as far as energetically to inspire each other and collaborate and not, like you said, not be afraid of making mistakes, but move,
Absolutely.
but inspire and energize each other? You think that's a vital component that we need?
Oh yeah, coming together as a community is really important. I'm just saying, don't sweep the differences under the carpet. Let them rage.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. There has to be that total openness of expression and experimentation that we're not afraid for. On a personal level, none of us need to be afraid of making a mistake, right?
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. So,
did I tell you I once made a mistake?
No, I never knew that about you. I always heard you were perfect.
I've tried to keep it a secret.
That's great. Was there anything else you'd like to add to this interview, Josh, that I haven't asked you, or you just have in your mind you'd like to say to everyone?
I'm just really privileged to be here in the international aging community. The Russians have been working hard on small protein molecules that seem to be enormously beneficial. So I'm going to hear about that tomorrow at this meeting. And it's not being taken seriously. It's not being confirmed in the US. We need to replicate those experiments. If they're wrong, let's find out they're wrong. But there's stunning results coming out of Russia. The day after tomorrow, I go to China. I'm a visiting scholar at the Beijing Institute for Biological Sciences this summer. And they too are coming up with innovative and different ideas from what we have in the West. Let's get the whole international community going.
I agree 100%. Well, that's what RAADfest is about. And I think that is so vital because no matter what our differences are, and we need to have those differences, we don't let that need to get in the way of our collaboration. We need everyone who's in this community internationally and throughout to collaborate, to move together, to get to the goals that we want to get to. So that's
absolutely.
To get to but like you said, we have to have that total free expression and not be afraid of making the mistakes and not let any of our differences keep us from that collaboration that we need to have. So,
yes, exactly.
Jim. Yeah. So thank you so much for doing this interview and just keep having a great time there in Geneva. Okay. Well, thanks again. Great job. Appreciate you. And thank you for everything you're doing.
Thanks for connecting with me, Jim. This has been wonderful.
Thank you.